Hello, 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 hello. Are we here? Is this thing on? Is everybody ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready, sketty, to get into this gig? We are about to go on and talk about a topic that I really don't like to cover. I do minimal Cardi B coverage in the current years, and I do minimal Nicki Minaj coverage in the current years because both of these artists have a fan base that cannot think for themselves. If you do a Cardi B video, people automatically label you a Nicki Minaj fan. If you do a video against Cardi B, people automatically label you a Nicki Minaj fan. If you do a video against, or not even against, but disagreeing is the better word. You do a video disagreeing with Nicki Minaj, people automatically classify you as a Cardi B stan. So the mental capacity of the fans on both bases is very low. So in the current years, I try to do minimal coverage of both. Okay. I do minimal coverage of both. But this topic keeps coming down my timeline. And I'm like, you know what? I'm giving my opinion because I'm not a stan of Cardi. I'm not a stan of Nicki. I'm not a stan of Megan. I'm not a stan of none of these girls, period. And if you guys are a subscriber of my channel, then you know that my opinion is going to come from a stand of just my outside looking in on a situation, and that's that. Okay, period. And if you have a low IQ and you cannot decipher that people may disagree with people, that doesn't mean that they're stands of other people. This might not be the stream for you. Okay. If you can't have the mental capacity of liking somebody and being able to disagree with them, this is not the stream for you. I don't need you to get your panties in a bunch. I don't need you to upset yourself. There's no need to get riled up. If you don't have the mental capacity to like somebody and hear a difference of opinion other than somebody kissing the person's ass that you like, there's no need for you to upset yourself. There's no need for the I'm unsubscribing. We didn't even start the video. It's an hour till the video was coming on before I even said anything that I had to say, and we already had people saying I'm unsubscribing. Listen, save it. Okay? And I'm not here to I feel like I'm a very humble YouTuber. I am not at 1 million subscribers. I'm not at 500,000 subscribers, and quite frankly, I'm 10,000 away from 300,000 subscribers. So I'm not even at the 300,000 subscriber mark, but I do okay. So any video that I do, humbly speaking, I gain about 700 or more subscribers almost every video that I post. That's no cap in my rap. We can go through my analytics. I have one video alone that I gained 6,000 subscribers. I got another video where I posted that one video. I gained 2,000 subscribers. So please save the I'm unsubscribing thing. I don't care, because I'm going to post a video and I'm going to gain subscribers outside of this video, period. So save the you must be a Cardi B stan, because I have videos on my page to prove that I'm not a Cardi B stan. Save the you're Meg the Stallion stan, because I got videos to prove that I'm not a Meg the Stallion stan. And save the whole, oh, well, if you disagree with Nicki Minaj, then you must hate her. No, I don't have any hate for anybody. I don't. I give my comments on topics, and that's that. So now that we got those housekeeping things out the way, let's get into it. So Nicki Minaj dropped a remix to her song Freaky Girls. And once she dropped her remix to Freaky Girls, there was a lot of chatter behind it. there were people who were happy that she was collaborating with female artists, and there was people who felt like she was only riding the wave of female artists to stay relevant. And then there were people who felt like she's a legend, she's a victim. People are always trying to come for her moments, et cetera, et cetera. There were a lot of simultaneous conversations that was going on around social media. In the midst of her dropping this song, which it debuted, I want to say, at #1, and it had a lot of people who liked it. There was some really good verses on it. They had JT verse that went crazy on the remix. You had Akbar, who also went crazy on the remix. And it was a unity of collective of female artists. And it was somebody who just got recognized with the Vanguard Award, which was highlighting that you are at the top of your game. You're at the top of the top. You are, acknowledged. You have put your footing in the door and things like that. And she just received this award. And on the heel of her receiving this stamp of approval from the industry to say, hey, you are on GOAT status, she then releases this song. And on the song, she gives a lot of girls who really don't have the highest recognition that she gets shine. At the end of the day, Akbar has not had, she does music, but a Nicki Minaj, being a part of a Nicki Minaj verse will elevate her. It will elevate Bia. It will elevate the Katie. I don't even know who the Katie Got Bands person is. This is my first time hearing about her. I have no idea who she is. But just being on the song, now I know that there is a person named Katie Got Bands who is a person. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of this moment that should be a positive moment, Nicki Minaj and her barbs decide to focus on the negative. Okay. So instead of let's stream it, let's pay anybody who got something to say dust, let's, keep her on queen status, there is drama and shade and, oh, well, let me shade this person. Let me shade that person. And it started first with Cardi B before the Vanguard Awards. Okay. I didn't pull up all the receipts for that because I'm just gonna briefly mention it and move on. But there was mention that Offset had left the Migos and he was suing QC. He had made the blogs, and under the blogs, Cardi B kind of commented because people were calling Offset the Beyonce of the group. P had responded saying that, you build people up and then they kind of turn on you type of thing. And Cardi B was basically defending him because people also started to say, oh, well, he must be wanting to sue because of Cardi B. Cardi B sued Tasha K. Oh, so she must be the bug in his ear to now want to sue QC. And so people, when he announced that he was suing QC, people started to jump on Cardi B. So Cardi B responded. So in the midst of Cardi B responding, she then gets in a Twitter war with one of Nicki Minaj head barbs, which name is some guy named Khalil. Okay. So she gets into Cardi B and Khalil get into this 3-hour back and forth exchange on Twitter. They're going back and forth. He's accusing Cardi B of, being with Offset after he cheated with Saweetie. He put out this rumor that Saweetie and, Quavo fell out because Saweetie was messing with Offset and Cardi B knew and all of this. So at the cusp of this, Nicki Minaj was also propping him up, giving his props and basically giving him a cosign to go after Cardi B. The Vanguard Award came up and, she's propping up Khalil, saying, yeah, the girls is mad. They do their appearances together and things like that. So that was that first. Then she releases this remix, okay, about Freaky Girls, and she has JT, Bia, a girl named Katie got bands, and who else? Bia, Akbar, somebody else. So after that, Coi Leray has something to say about it, and another female by the name of Lakia also had something to say about it. And Nicki Minaj basically shaded Coi Leray, who she just did a feature with her, and she also did likes where she was basically showing that, you know, like she was agreeing with people feeling some type of way about Coi Leray speaking out, and she was agreeing with people who had something to say about Lakia. So let me pull up that. Hold on one second. All right, so right here, let me make it big. Hold up. All right. So as you see here, Lakia is a rapper, and she said it's such a thin line between being supportive and de-eating. I don't care. I don't care. And I believe that was in response to, you know, how Akbar was acting, how a lot of people was acting about the feature. So she said that. In addition to her saying that, Coi Leray says, be careful from fake smiles. Industry's so weird. Only if y'all knew the half. Yuck. Anyways, fly-ish out now. So the Barbs pretty much took it as Coi Leray was shading the fact that, you know, she felt like they insinuated that she was saying that Nicki Minaj was fake, and they made that out to be her shading Nicki Minaj and things like that. So Nicki Minaj liked the message about Lakia, and she said, and this was a person saying, how do you fix your mouth to tell someone else how happy, excited, or grateful to be for their moment? You have a nasty spirit. Instead of congratulating and grinding to perfect your craft, you dictating how others voice theirs. Support for an opportunity they receive. Log off and get it right. So Nicki Minaj liked that. So as it pertained to Coi Leray, one of her fans said, when Coi had nobody and the internet was eating her up, Nicki reached out as a human, being to show genuine love and care. So sad she didn't remember that. Okay. Another thing Nicki Minaj liked, she said, mind you, Nicki blocked Tate and Erica Banks for Coi Leray because they did the same thing to her. Okay. So that was the back and forth with Coi Leray and Lakia. So that was that. So then after that, she got on her Queen radio, and a lot of people assumed that she was shading Meg the Stallion. So, very descriptively, she described what was caught on video between her and Meg the Stallion. So, when her and Meg the Stallion did a song together, she was on video with Meg the Stallion. And in the video, Meg the Stallion said that she was going to get Nicki Minaj to drive the boat. Nicki Minaj declined driving the boat. And later, recently, within yesterday or so, or the day before, she decided to basically describe that incident that looked like it was the same incident that happened with Meg the Stallion. She described the same incident on her Queen radio, but did not put a name on it, and alleged that Meg the Stallion had said that she should get an abortion, but she didn't put a name on it. And the incident corroborates a prior incident, but we don't know if it's Meg the Stallion or not. But let me pull it up and show y'all. Let me pull it up and show y'all. All right. So here is Nicki Minaj and Meg when they made their song.
Tell them where we are and what we doing. First of all, let's get back on the topic of Nicki. Drop the vote. We're gonna hashtag make Nicki draw the vote 2019.
I'm really not.
That's what we're gonna do.
So first, you gotta start by dropping the vote.
She want me to draw the vote though. She want me to draw the vote.
You wanna drive the vote. This is a Miss Moscato vote, okay? That's premium supreme things. Okay, right, y'all? Right? Put in the thing if Meg should drive the vote.
Put in the thing if Nicki should draw the vote. Drop some stallions. Drop stallions if you want to draw the vote.
And drop unicorns if you want.
All right. So as you see right there, she was basically telling Nicki Minaj to drink and things like that. Okay. So then this is what she had to say, that people alleged she was talking about Meg Thee Stallion.
Imagine telling someone you didn't want to drink, because you were at the time possibly, pregnant, because you were actively, trying to have a baby. Imagine if that person say, "Oh, girl, you could go to the clinic." Imagine posting photos that you're pregnant. And the person doesn't even like it or say congratulations. But then when you post that Beyonce sent you flowers congratulating you.
All right, before she finishes, let me address the people in the chat, because again, the IQ of some of the barbs, I don't expect much. I'm just being honest. I don't expect much. But so many of you are in the chat saying that this was before she got pregnant. That does not mean that the joke could not have happened. She's reflecting on when they hung out, what she said, and then she's reflecting on when she got pregnant, how that person acknowledged her pregnancy with lack thereof acknowledgement. Nobody is posting the video saying that at this present time, when they hung out, when the comment was made, is when she's reflecting on when they hung out versus when she got pregnant and the attitude that the person had towards her pregnancy in not acknowledging. Anyway, so let me carry on. Let me play it.
Imagine telling someone you didn't want to drink, because you were at the time possibly, pregnant, because you were actively, trying to have a baby. Imagine if that person say, "Oh, girl, you could go to the clinic." Imagine posting photos that you're pregnant. And the person doesn't even like it or say congratulations. But then when you post that Beyonce sent you flowers congratulating you, the person then tries to attempt to send you flowers thinking that, oh, I can use this opportunity as I use everyone else. She'll post that I sent her flowers. I didn't even let them shit to my motherfucking house. Clown.
All right, so after that, one of the barbs decided to at Meg Thee Stallion and tell Meg Thee Stallion that Nicki Minaj was talking about her and accusing her of encouraging abortion and child endangerment with alcohol. Now, we know that the Barbs like to do a lot, but this is how that went down. So a person said, at Meg the Stallion, Nicki Minaj is accusing you of encouraging abortion and child endangerment with alcohol. This isn't something to stay quiet on. So Meg the Stallion responds to the person and says, lie. Okay? She responds to somebody who added her. They put at Meg the Stallion, or at the Stallion, which is to Meg the Stallion. She said lie. So, they said no names were mentioned, but you were the first to respond. Oh, baby, the shoe fits. So Meg the Stallion is saying, so you're saying I'm the first to respond, basically as if the person didn't at me and mention me. Like, so she says, so the person didn't mention me, question mark. And then she says, if someone at you, you could respond, right? Or that don't apply to every user on Twitter. If someone directly ats my name, why do they be confused when I reply, LOL? And then this person says, this person be so effing for real right now. And then she said, this person, as in person who pressed the at button, y'all not this crazy. Okay? And I understand what she's talking about, because me as a YouTuber, I mean, I get it too. People will literally at you, talk ish to you, and then be surprised when you respond about it. Okay? It's madness. So anyways, so after that situation happened and she talked about that, she then went in on Garcelle. Now, Garcelle, if you guys don't know, is one of the main characters from the Jamie Foxx show, and she is now on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So if you watch the Jamie Foxx show, she was Fancy on the Jamie Foxx show, and she had like a long stint on there as Fancy. And now she is she was on The Real before it got canceled, and now she's on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Well, Garcelle and Adrienne Bailon, who are both were on The Real, were the only two people who interviewed Jennifer Hoff, which is Kenneth Petty's alleged victim. Kenneth Petty was convicted and is listed as an SO and has a conviction behind Jennifer. So this is a valid case to talk about. This isn't something where, it didn't go to the courts. This is something to where he does have a charge. She filed a lawsuit, whether people feel like it was valid or not valid. She filed a lawsuit which made trending news. When she decided to get a lawyer, whether it was what people consider to be a shakedown, whether they feel like it was BS, whether it had validity or non-validity, she was suing Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, who she does have a case against, who is registered as a SO. Once you are trending and you have a talk show, be it on TV, be it on YouTube, it is your job to cover trending stories. Now, Jennifer Hugh, or however you say it, she went on The Real to talk about the case. Now, while she was on The Real, they got Jennifer's side, and they also reached out to Nicki Minaj camp to get a statement from them, to which they declined. Now, when you're doing your job and covering trending stories, you get this side, and if this other person decides to give their side, they can. But if they don't, then that doesn't mean that you don't do your job. So what they did was interview her. So in the interview, they talked about the lawsuit, and they also talked about how she felt about when Nicki Minaj basically announced that she was now with Kenneth Petty. I'll play a little bit of it.
Welcome back. Our next guest is speaking out for the first time on camera regarding the lawsuit she filed against Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty. A lawsuit accusing them of harassment and intimidation, among other charges. We believe that all women's voices have the right to be heard, which is why we invited her to come here today. Please welcome Jennifer Huff and her lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Jennifer and Tyrone. Jennifer, I know this is not an easy thing for you to do, so we're going to take our time. After being silent for so long, why are you here speaking up today?
I'm tired of being afraid. I feel like the actions that were taken in regards to this whole situation have put me in a different type of fear at my age now, and it was wrong, and I don't want to be afraid anymore. So the only way not to be afraid is to continue to speak up.
Now, Jennifer, I'm going to read because I don't want to make a mistake because this is an important story.
All right, so this is Garcelle, who is speaking to Jennifer. And before I play anymore, again, the mental capacity of the Barbs is sometimes limited. Now, I'm not saying all Barbs don't have a brain, but a lot of people, they like Nicki Minaj so much, which you entitled to like who you want to like, but they like her so much that their brain shuts down. Okay, it just completely shuts down. So before I continue further, there was a clip, right, of Jennifer Huff talking to one of Kenneth Petty's friends, who he also said the blogs was taking the clip out of context. So the clip that people are saying that she's a liar, and I wasn't there in the room with her or Kenneth to know if she lying or not lying. However, I do know that the clip that they are alleging that she's lying based off of was heavily edited and manipulated. Period. I'm gonna keep it real. And I've had harsh criticism on Jennifer as well. The timing and how she came out and how everything rolled out to me was a little bit suspicious. However, I am able to call a spade and see when people is misleading the public. So the clip, when Jennifer Huff first came out, she has always said from the beginning, whether you agree with her or not, she has always stated that there was a time when she was told to drop the case and she attempted to drop the case. She has always said that from the beginning. If you go back 2 years ago, you know, I speak facts. I don't speak on my feeling because I like somebody. Whether I like Jennifer, whether I like whoever, I'm going to speak the facts. I watched this play out. She, going back 2 years ago, spoke about how there was a time when she was told to drop the charges, and she said that she attempted to drop the charges. Okay? So in the clip that was shared that people are saying she's a liar, you can clearly see that she was explaining to the person on the camera the time when she tried to drop the charges and what she told the judge, which she had already said 2 years back. Okay, so because the clip was edited and it didn't show her previously saying this was the time when and it started with her explaining the time and it jump cut it to that part, everybody was like, oh, look, there, she said it, so she's a liar. And it's like, if you have common sense, you could tell that this was purposely edited. You could tell where it starts. You could tell it don't have a beginning. You could tell how the video was put out if you have common sense. But I digress. I wasn't there to say that he's guilty or innocent because I'm not Jennifer. I don't even know how old I was at the time that the alleged incident happened. I don't live in New York, never lived in New York, so I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know what happened. However, I do know that she had been said 2 years ago that there was a time that she was told to try to drop the charges, period. So anyways, let me play some more. So she went on The Real when she decided to sue Nicki, and this is what was said.
Though Kenneth Petty first denied the rape charges, he was charged with first-degree rape, subsequently pleaded guilty to attempted rape, and spent over 4 years in prison, according to the inmate records. Did you feel that justice was served?
I don't think I thought about justice per se because I was still blaming myself.
Okay.
I thought it was something that I did or didn't do. So I don't think I thought about if I got justice. I just knew he did what he did and he went to jail, and I had to leave my family, I had to leave my home, and I had to move away. So yeah, I never really gave it much thought.
How has this affected you emotionally over the years?
In so many ways. Hiding within myself, living and surviving through insecurities, using them to protect myself, thinking that if I don't look a certain way, I won't attract a certain type of attention.
Okay.
And I've been like that my whole life.
Jennifer, let's move forward. When it was announced that Kenneth Petty was marrying Nicki Minaj, what was your first thought about that news?
I was so afraid of being found out. I was so afraid of being known as the person he violated. And I didn't want that. You know, it's Nicki Minaj.
All right.
Jennifer, have you ever spoken to Nicki directly?
I did in March of 2020. She called me and she said that she got word that I was willing to help them out in a situation. I didn't understand what she was referring to. She offered to fly me and my family to LA. I turned it down, and I told her, woman to woman, this really happened. And I hadn't spoken to her since.
Now, you allege that Nicki and Kenneth were harassing you. In what way?
With them sending people to negotiate numbers as far as money is concerned with family members. And Nicki is the one who personally reached out to me. She's, in regards to helping them in this situation. And then the threats that I received because I kept saying no to every offer, to every suggestion. The last incident was when one of their associates put $20,000 on my lap, and I still kept saying no. The last message I received was that I should have taken the money because they're going to use that money to put on my head.
What are you guys wanting to come from this lawsuit?
To let them know that they were wrong and you can't do this to people. You shouldn't do this to people. He did something a long time ago, and he had consequences that he was supposed to stick with. What they did to me and my family wasn't okay. It wasn't right. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your status is. You can't intimidate people to make things go better for you. And that's what they did. And I want my daughters to know that as they grow, as they experience life, as they come in contact with friends, family, strangers, or whatever, that they'll have the strength to know that they have a voice and they should use it. And don't ever let anybody try to silence them.
All right. So as you can see in the interview, Garcelle didn't attack Nicki Minaj. She did not attack Nicki Minaj's son. And she just basically got the girl's side like, okay, you saying that they harassing you. In what way did they harass you? Like, what did they do to you? Like, what are you alleging? And there's nothing wrong with getting somebody else's side of the story. I hate when people feel like because I like this person, you can't hear what the other person has to say. If a situation involved two people, then you could get this person's side and you could get that person's side. You could get both people's side and you can come to the conclusion, but that's not how the internet works. They like you. So if the side that you speak isn't kissing the person who I likes ass, then we attack you. So anyways, so after she briefly did what seemed to be shading Meg Thee Stallion, then she went off on Garcelle. And so this is where I came to have an issue. And I started to notice on top of that, there was also reports that she was having people mass report the neighborhood talk. Now, I did not see the tweet, so I cannot confirm if she actually did. I do not follow her on Twitter, but there is a lot of people who are saying that she had people mass report the neighborhood talk. Y'all are the Barbs. Y'all know it or not, but I'm going to just read this and I'm going to give my opinion after I share what she had to say about Garcelle. So somebody said, why are her fans mass reporting the neighborhood talk? Somebody says, Nicki told them to on Twitter. The tweet is still up too. For what? Kyle has been supporting her. I thought he was a Barb. Okay. And so people are saying that she also, in this midst of going off on or liking tweets that was clapping back at Coi Leray, liking tweets that was clapping back at Lakia, doing shady stuff where she clearly was talking about Cardi B, also seemingly talking about Meg Thee Stallion. In addition to that, people are saying now she's trying to mass report or tell her fans to mass report Kyle as well. And then on top of that, there's another YouTuber who had reported on Nicki Minaj, and we'll get into that after I play what she had to say about Garcelle.
I still don't know because they wanted ratings. And the next thing that happened to them, they were canceled. And now this lady is on one of the Real Housewives talking about, leave my son alone. Don't leave comments under my son's page. Bitch, if you can't feel this, stand a motherfucking heat. Get the fuck out the kitchen, bitch. Do you care about my motherfucking son, bitch? Did you care about my motherfucking son, hoe? I see why that white man left you, bitch. Disgusting. But I always tell you guys, because they wanted ratings. And the next thing that happened to them, they were canceled. And now this lady is on one of the Real Housewives talking about, leave my son alone. Don't leave comments under my son's page. Bitch, if you can't feel this, stand a motherfucking heat. Get the fuck out the kitchen, bitch. Do you care about my motherfucking son, bitch? Did you care about my motherfucking son, hoe? I see why that white man left you, bitch. Disgusting.
All right. So after she went in on Garcelle, people started to also go in on a YouTuber who had basically done commentary. So a YouTuber had done commentary on Nicki Minaj and did not agree with some of her antics and felt like, at what point do you deem a person the problem? You know, like if a person beefs with every single person and has a problem with every single person, how many people does a person have to fall out with for you to realize that that person might be the problem and maybe not everybody is, you know, jealous of them? So her Barb started to basically dox this woman. They got her number, they started doxing her, they started texting her, and Nicki Minaj basically started liking tweets where some of her barbs was saying, I don't care if Nicki Minaj kills somebody, I'm still gonna be a barb. And she was basically at that point co-signing a lot of their behavior towards people. And my whole thing is, you can, defend yourself. If you feel like somebody playing on your top, you could defend yourself. But the way that she goes about it is she uses the barbs to do her dirty work and then tries to act like everybody is just attacking her. And it's like, to me, at some point, it starts to give Tasha K. Started to bring up Tasha K, but that's the same thing. Like, Tasha K will literally fall out with every blogger, every person. And every blogger is not like, you're the only one falling out with everybody. All these other people are not falling out. They said that she was shading Lotto, when Lotto from the very beginning has been a super stan of Nicki. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point do you realize it might not be everybody else? Maybe the person who I like, maybe they ain't all the way a victim. And a lot of people keep riding the wave because there was a time when, she said that she was getting blackballed, and they stick with that. But it's like, Nicki Minaj is getting recognized at the Vanguard. She's getting a #1 debut song. She's getting recognition. So you cannot keep riding the, oh, well, people are blackballing her. Oh, this is because she was getting blackballed, or this is because, well, she's not getting blackballed. She's at the top of the top right now. So you can't keep using the same excuse. And my problem with the whole Garcelle thing is, Nicki Minaj is one of the main people who anytime anybody does anything to her, it's because I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman this, black woman that, black woman this, black woman that. On this panel, Garcelle, a black woman, and what's this girl named Adrian, a Latino woman, they're the only two people interviewing her. But the only person that Nicki Minaj is dragging when it's two people interviewing Jennifer is the black woman. So I found that kind of ironic, because she didn't come for the Latino woman, and none of her beefs are ever with other media, because the same way that y'all swear up and down black media is bringing down black talent, these white media pages are also posting the same stuff. TMZ is also posting the same stuff. And these people never have the same energy for other media. But if somebody says something about them that happens to also be black, then that's the main target. But it's like, they never have the same smoke, and the white media don't share, like, they're sharing the same tea. Why isn't the Latino girl, why are we not talking about her? Why we not talking about her? And I'm not saying that she ain't never called out TMZ, but the smoke is never the same. Let's be very clear. The smoke is never the same. Let's be very clear here. So when I see all of these things, it's okay to like somebody, right? But at what point do you say, I like you, but why are we focusing on the negative? If us YouTubers focus on the negative, y'all hold us accountable. How come you guys cannot ever say, listen, I like you. This is your moment. You have a #1. You got all the girls together. Who gives a fuck if Coi Leray say something. Who gives a fuck if Lakia say something? You giving light to people who you extending your platform and your grace and your legend status on people that should be beneath you anyways. So when do people say, listen, it might not be them? Y'all think that Beyonce, who's on the same legend status, or Rihanna used to clap back. Okay? Rihanna used to be the same type of petty. She used to get into it with a lot of people, but at some point, she grew past that. At some point, she stopped getting into it with Sierra and being petty and talking about Sierra and, getting into it with people on Twitter. Rihanna used to be the same way. But after so many years, it's like, when do we boss up? And I'm not saying that she's not human. Y'all saying Nicki is human too. I get that she's human, but humans can also be held accountable. And somebody said beneath you with a shocked face. I don't mean beneath you like a person is less than you because you have status or you're rich and they're not. I don't mean it in that way. What I mean is career-wise, status-wise, you have to work for where you at. I'm not going to acknowledge somebody who's just trying to acknowledge me to gain notoriety. You know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So at what point do you say, listen, this person might be problematic too? Not saying that other people ain't innocent. Not saying that she can't defend herself. But at what point do we stop saying, oh, well, it's because of this, it's because of that, when she's winning right now? So y'all can't keep with the same narratives. Y'all cannot keep giving the same excuses of, oh, well, they tried to blackball her, so this is why. She's literally winning right now. She has a #1 song, and she got a lot of the girls who rapped, and it was a good moment. So at what point do we say, well, every time something... Now, I'm going to open up the stream. But as soon as y'all start acting ignorant, we going to close it. Now, I don't mind hearing from the Barbs. I did offend y'all saying that some of y'all have a low IQ. Prove to me that you don't, okay? Because I'm willing to be corrected. If you are intelligent, and I understand that some of the Barbs are night owls too, and so that probably did come off offensive. And I mean, shit, we ruffle feathers sometimes, because sometimes to get your attention, we might got to say something spicy, okay? But if you can hold an intelligent conversation, we could have a conversation. Now, if you get up here and you get to yelling and being ignorant, then we ain't gonna talk, okay? But prove to me. And the first person I'm gonna bring up is Jims, because Jims has been very vocal the whole stream. I'm gonna hear her out. Unmute your mic, Jims, so I could bring you up. She's been very vocal, but even though I've been poking fun at y'all, I don't think that all the Barbs are low IQ. So I'm gonna hear from Jims, because I don't think that she can't hold a conversation. Go ahead.
Hey, Neek.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, go ahead.
Girl, now listen, I am not a Barb, okay? Don't be putting me in the category.
Girl, I don't know, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I don't feel like you have to be a Barb one to see what's been going on the last couple of years with Nicki Minaj. I 100% agree with you that we do need to hold people accountable. She is kind of doing the nana boo-boo thing right now that she's winning. Now, if you put yourself in her shoes of being in a hate train, they bring somebody else up, they post her up, all the people that was supporting her is now putting her down for this new girl, saying that she's better. They didn't told you your career's over, you're washed, all of this. And then you come back and prove all these people wrong. Are you not going to take your moment to shine? Now, as far as like all these other girls,
but don't we always say kill them with success? When Lizzo got attacked by Ari Spears, She got on the award and said, I don't even got to respond because I'm winning, bitch. And guess what? Karma got him.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
So
And
if we're winning, do we really have to, though? Because us winning is solidified enough. Like, she literally has GOAT status. There's undenying that Nicki Minaj is at legend GOAT status. She's been 15 years in the game. She has stayed relevant. You know, do we really?
I mean, that she has had her moments where she's fell off. Like, there was a period I didn't listen to Nicki Minaj from like 2015 till 2018. I didn't come back to the Queen era. And as far as like Lizzo and Aries Spears, it only took Lizzo, what, a week to respond? Nicki Minaj has not responded to these people for like 4 years. Ever since the shoot. I mean, in the capacity.
If you believe that Nicki Minaj has not subliminally been doing subliminal posts this whole time, then
I'm not saying she hasn't subliminally. I'm saying
at the capacity is when she wasn't on social media. Anytime she's been on social media, she either co-signs something by liking what the Barbs say, or she indirectly or directly subs.
But side note, who doesn't? Which one of these rap girls ain't doing that? That's one. Two, I'm talking about the capacity of like what we seen in 2018 with the shoe being thrown, her getting out of character.
Are these rap girls on her level?
No, they don't. But it's the fact that they're fighting to still be in her space. It's not like she's arguing with them about not featuring her on their music. They're the ones on Twitter fighting over her not giving them attention like little kids. It's not like she's mad that they're not featuring her. We wouldn't even be having this if Asian and all these other girls wasn't on there being mad. Koi.
But wouldn't she feel like I'm that bitch? Like, look at this. All these bitches is mad because I didn't give them shine. Like,
but then
why
was
do I
giving them
respond
shine
to that?
But she was giving them shine, though. And then look how some of them have acted afterwards. After they got the feature, they done switched up, started acting funny, being mad because the feature wasn't enough. Like Koi, for example, she didn't just get a feature. She got a video. She got promo. She got everything. And she's mad. What is the reason?
But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, though. Just because it looks like she got all those things, let's be very clear. Koi was also relevant. Like, Nicki Minaj does use the relevance of the current artist as well to stay relevant.
She was TikTok relevant. She wasn't like on the billboard. She wasn't like a Doja Cat.
She wasn't on the billboards, but we don't know what was promised to her behind the scenes. It could have been, listen, we're gonna put you on this feature, and then backbiting stuff go on behind the scenes, and stuff happens behind the scenes that don't make it to the internet.
I agree with you, but it could be the same way though. If we're gonna talk about behind the scenes, what if it was Koi label saying, we ain't gonna give you the funds for Nicki's idea, and that's why we can't do this. Like, we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And it's not fair to let it.
Hold on one second. All right. Tommy, go ahead.
Neek, I understand what you're saying, but we got to stop pretending as if these girls didn't come for Nicki first. Nicki was mature enough to have JT on her single, The Queen's Mix, while JT said prior that she wanted to fight Nicki behalf of Cardi. Like, we got to stop playing as if Nicki's so petty. You guys were the same people that said that.
Petty. Like, listen. That's being a fucking adult and realizing, you know what I realized as a fucking adult? That if a person is in that camp, I understand why you riding with that person. But if I have a conversation with you, I could be a grown enough adult to realize that you and Cardi y'all was on the same level, y'all was on the same label, and y'all rocking with each other, and you did what you know what I'm saying? You had your alliance. You don't know me from Adam in real life, but you respect my pen. As an adult, you can respect that.
She did. That's why she featured her. That's why she
exactly.
forgot.
No, that's not being like, oh, like, that's you're an adult. I got people right now, YouTubers, who y'all don't even know that I fell out with certain YouTubers because it's not even necessary to mention. But that's that high school shit. Like, some of that shit is high school shit.
Man, I feel like when you got the whole world attacking you like that, it brings you out of character.
And Carisha is the one who said that. She said that they asked her hypothetical, whose side would she have, Nicki or Cardi's, and she was riding with who had been showing her love.
And JT did a whole rap in the backseat of a car dissing Nicki Minaj.
Exactly.
Before that happened.
But this is my issue. You guys were the same people that were saying that, oh, Nicki should be responding to what Remy Ma said about her trying to blackball her, but yet when she finally speaks out, because she was silent during her hate train. Nicki was silent.
What are you
She
talking
didn't.
about? Her and Remy Ma went back and forth with each other. Who's the same people?
No, I'm talking about like because in my opinion, what she did with Megan was more like a statement, like she did with Cardi. That's how I see it.
And
Until
remember,
Cardi threw that shoe at her, she didn't make like no statement. And that was during her hate train.
I don't understand. But all right. I'm gonna bring y'all down real quick. Go ahead, Matt.
No, to respond to that person, Nicki Minaj did apologize to Remy Ma. Remy Ma apologized to Nicki. They squashed that beef, so there's no need to bring that up. But no, it's like I understand where you're coming from, but like at a point where like I'm being in situations where okay, I have to defend myself, and then if I had to drag somebody into there, I will. That is what it is. But that's the only thing I have to like. I understand like okay, it's something I wouldn't do. Like me, if I fall out with somebody, I'm not gonna bring it up. That's just me. But like I can't say, oh, it's wrong for that person to just defend themselves. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Happy?
Yes, Nick, I agree. Everything you're saying is right, and I still don't get why people don't get what you were saying because everything you spoke was a fact. And if people who lack common sense, that's on them. What I wanted to add to it was everything. I forget where I seen it at. I know it was on YouTube, of course, because this is the only platform I have. But I think it was the Bomb Lady, but it's somebody that likes Nicki Minaj, and on there, Nicki was talking about, she was playing something Nicki had said a few weeks ago, and she's talking about, oh, I didn't buy payola or something, and all this stuff that everybody was saying that she did, but she was up there laughing about, oh, I didn't do all of that. Girl, please, I know it felt good to let that off your chest, Nick. Okay, because definitely all that stuff you were saying and whatever song or whatever that may have been, it's all the truth. You did all of that crap. You are a mean, nasty individual. You've always been that way, and you still are now. And I just don't get why she just don't go sit down somewhere now that everybody gave her all her accolades this year, you know? But that's just my opinion on it.
All right, Dazzle.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hi. I'm seeing this. So Megan is shady. She just played Little Kim out with this remix she just did. What makes you think she didn't try to play Nicki if she's playing someone that came before Nicki? That's also a legend. Like these girls are shady.
I'm not
because they were supposed to do right. So you're not up to speed, but you're doing a video.
I'm not
making criticism.
Played Little Kim when she just dropped the remix.
Okay. She just dropped the remix with her and then pulled
how did she play her if they just
she
dropped
copyrighted it and pulled it and didn't promote it. She copyrighted it and pulled it. You can't even find it and didn't promote it. She just played her out. So if Megan can do that to her
out, the remix was trash. Let's be real.
Okay, but still, wouldn't she hear it before it was cleared? Like who gets a feature and then doesn't hear it and allows it to be put out and then pulls it? That seems weird to me, but okay. I'm just saying Megan is very shady. So if
the label could have seen that the collective audience and public opinion thought it was trash and pulled it. Okay. You know that she's also a part of a label, right?
Yeah, a label that doesn't like her and all
when you seen the snippet, did you see 50% for or against the song?
I didn't look at likes or dislikes because by the time I had listened to it, it got pulled right after. And so I couldn't see that.
It's still up on the blogs. Like if you go under any of the blogs who posted it, 80% of the comments say that's trash.
Here, the bottom line is this. If she wanted to pay homage and be respectful and get a real feature and make it stick and promote it with Little Kim, she would have did that. And she didn't do it. And I feel like it's a little bit of a clout chase on Megan's part. Little Kim played herself trying to get involved with Nicki's ops and then ending up getting played. It says to me that it's just embarrassing. The other thing is, if we're going to talk about, Nicki's husband's alleged crimes, I feel like we need to discuss Cardi's admitted crimes. She's talking about drugging men and doing God knows what to them. That to me, why doesn't it go both ways? If a man or woman,
why do y'all do that? Okay, I got a question.
Cardi admitted to doing that. Cardi admitted.
No, hold on, wait.
To that.
If we're talking about Nicki Minaj, though, if we're talking about her and her situation, when things don't add up, why does it seem like people who support Nicki, and I'm not throwing that out there, but it just seems like, to me, when people support Nicki, it's like they automatically got to deflect and talk about Cardi B. We're not talking about Cardi B. We're talking about.
But I just talked about Megan, and I just talked about Little Kim because we're talking about female rap. Why can't I talk about Cardi? If you're a Cardi fan, then you be a Cardi fan. But anyway, you could be a Cardi fan. All I'm saying is all these girls, none of these girls are perfect. Why is it that you put all this responsibility on Nicki to be this perfect person? Y'all even put this social responsibility on Nicki as a Black woman, but as Black women, y'all can't band together and tell Cardi to stop saying the N-word. That's not a Black woman. She doesn't have a Black parent.
Talking about Cardi B, you know what I kind of find funny with Nicki supporters? I kind of feel like when WAP came out, Nicki supporters was around here saying how it's destroying the youth, it's so horrible, it's so bad, it's so derogatory, and it's so explicit. But then we hear it, even though I thought the song was great when Nicki, came out with, but she's doing the same thing, and I don't hear no Nicki Minaj fans talking about how it was derogatory, destroying the youth, and they're saying the same thing.
Right. And my whole thing is, I can't stand when people do this. Like, number one, Nicki Minaj is the one who uses the I'm a Black woman trope. So if you use the I'm a Black woman, this is happening to me because I'm a Black woman, and you're only going after Black women, and you're only going and you're not calling out other people, other races, then to me, that's kind of a problem. Go ahead, Mika.
I just got a few points. Nicki Minaj, she always claiming to be the queen, but she don't ever act like it.
Wait, I'm gonna pause you. Somebody said so does Meg, and Meg Thee Stallion got called out when Meg Thee Stallion did the Black women are unprotected for her benefit, but we never seen her trying to advocate for Black women's protection outside of that, and she was being a bully in the background. She got called out for that as well. So don't say so does Meg like we didn't call that out too. Go ahead, Mika.
Yeah, like I was saying, Nicki Minaj, she always claiming to be the queen, but we don't see her acting like it. We call Beyonce the queen because she acts like it, and she dismisses. She don't play in that mess. She don't interact with all the negativity. Unlike Nicki Minaj, she's always being caught up in the mess. I literally feel like she lives in the hate. She feeds off the negativity. And Nicki Minaj, she's so used to being in a driver's seat for the last 10, 12 years. She's so used to being the only person in the driver's seat. But now that Cardi and Meg and Doja, they don't want to be in the back seat. JT and Bia and whoever was on the remix, they okay being in the back seat while Nicki driving the car. But Cardi and Meg and Lotto, no, they want to drive their own car, and Nicki just can't take. She just don't know how to let. Within the last 10 years, Nicki was getting all the features for the pop records and all the records.
Okay,
now
girl.
they got
Can
options.
I say something?
They got options,
please?
and she just don't know how to take it.
Hello, can I say something? Okay, I think with Nicki, I feel like the problem that she has is when these girls, when she do reach out for them and give them opportunities and stuff like that, because remember back in the day, they used to say that she didn't help out other female artists. All she's done within the past 5 to 6 years is work with different female artists, and every time she works with a female artist, somebody does something and they end up falling out. I don't think the common denominator each of those times was Nicki Minaj from what I last, understood. My thing is, you could, if I was her, I would feel like it is okay for you to work with different artists and stuff like that. After you work with me, that's fine. Just don't be weird about it. Just don't be moving weird. Don't come over dissing somebody that I have a problem with, and then going back over there, working with her and stuff like that, and then you the same type of person that's also mad at other people for collabing with other people, like with the baby and Tory Lanez, and I don't like how. I think somebody said this already, but I'm going to say it again because it needs to be said. I don't like how a lot of people who say that, oh my God, Nicki needs to act like the queen and stuff like that and stuff like. Okay, I understand that point. I wish she did act more like Beyonce and didn't respond and stuff like that. But I feel like she has every right to respond. You wasn't in her shoes. You weren't there with her. Just like y'all like to say that the fans don't actually know her. Y'all also wasn't there when this was said and that happened also. And I feel like she should have every right because she has earned the right to call herself the queen. She has made a mark. She was the first to do a lot of things. She did carry the torch. Show some respect. I don't
Okay,
care who you're a
now
fan
it's
of.
time for other girls are coming in now. So why is it so hard for her to accept Cardi coming up, Meg coming up, Doja coming
First of
up? Why is
all,
it so hard for her
Cardi
to
B,
accept
for
that?
one, she's on her way out of the door. Megan coming up, that's fine too. My thing is, don't sit here and y'all
Oh yeah, I
same
forgot she was
people.
calling out Doja Cat. She had smoke for
She
Doja.
ain't call out Doja Cat. Doja
No,
Cat,
she
she
Did
just
have
acted.
shade for Doja Cat.
definitely did call out Doja. Y'all stop
But
it. When she
let's
was
just be honest here. This ain't about Doja
record
Cat.
after
This is about
record,
Megan, Cardi, and these
Y'all
other new
saying she didn't
girls. Y'all don't
shade
even.
Doja? That's what y'all
she
saying?
did. She
I
did.
don't think
Doja.
Nicki is worried about
Girl
Doja
was
Cat like
giving
right
her
now. Let's
record
keep it
No,
real
she's
here.
definitely Nikki is worried about Doja and Cardi and Meg because they are the ones that's doing the number ones and putting up the numbers. With Remy Ma, what was in the no frauds? Oh, you ain't got if your work ain't selling and you ain't got no hits. But she
But let's
can't do
be
that
real
with
here.
Nicki.
When's
But
the
she
last
can't
number
talk
that
that
any of
number
them
talk with
had?
Cardi and Doja.
Y'all talking about people coming for her, but y'all was silent when she did what's her name? Missy Elliott congratulated her on her Vanguard, and she was like, "Oh, we mumbling and cackling." And
Exactly.
y'all got a kiki out of
Because
this.
Missy Elliott was the same person that was throwing shade and dissing her, just like Queen Latifah. A lot of these old rap MCs, they act like they cool and congratulated Nicki Minaj when she first came in the game. Then they eventually go on some interview or something like that and say something shady, and then it has something to do with a diss or something
But
like
how
that.
is liking somebody see that what y'all
Right.
She
consider
had
shady
something to do
is
with the Sheetha
somebody
diss.
giving
That's what it was.
somebody else props also. That's what y'all consider shady. So if somebody gives somebody else also props, then y'all consider that, oh, she didn't mention Nicki Minaj. So that means that she's being shady. Like other people are coming up in the game and other people are being acknowledged. So when other people
Right.
get acknowledged, y'all are considered that as
Can
like,
we be honest about something though
No,
that
let's be
kind of
very.
proves your point? Whenever you are a fan of somebody, or whenever you don't like or aren't a fan of somebody, whenever they are receiving some type of an accolade or something like that, y'all always get mad and say, oh, don't bring in this other person, don't bring up this other person, but y'all don't never hold the same energy to other fan bases and stuff like that.
all fan bases get heat for being toxic. Come on now.
But wait, my
Yeah,
thing
but
is,
Can I make a point about the hate train?
I think I
Um,
have the hate train. I really
hold on,
do.
wait, hold on. My idea in Nikki's head, the hate train. Aren't record labels supposed to push their artists? Oh yeah, we want to be bigger than Nicki Minaj. Isn't that the record label's job to make everybody bigger than the next? I'm confused.
Correct.
What's the hate train?
That's correct.
Was more about
the hate
But Nicki
train was
Minaj
whenever she
isn't
was
a
getting
hate train.
blackballed off of radio,
it.
and she had to literally most of her number ones. That number one that she just got was fan made. Okay, she don't have any radio play. That's blackballed for one. Not being able to receive a Grammy. Most of the greatest artists out here do not have any Grammys. The Grammys is rigged. Grammys is based off of politics. And if she's not the favorite, oh, and Neek, response to you, yes, she has went against other people other than black women. Remember whenever she went against Miley Cyrus? That's just part of her hate train. I don't give a damn if y'all moan. I said what I said. She's supposed
Absolutely,
to.
that's not a hate
Feel like
train,
She's a
baby.
princess.
Because
She
it's
went
not
against
making any
Miley
sense.
Cyrus, but she
Because
wasn't going against Remy
if
Ma.
it wasn't
What
real, why
did
does she
I
need a
flex
Grammy then?
her?
Why was she crying about it? Like, relax. You're not
You
making
can't
no
say
sense.
nothing to Miley
It was so
Cyrus
rigged,
and
but
get
she
away with it.
wanted something so bad. Like, relax. Yeah, you need to stop
And she just
it.
put out
Because
all
if
their
she would have
Grammys
been the most
and y'all
decorated, if
heard
she would
nothing
have had
about
a
that.
Grammy,
Let
I
me
wouldn't have been
see
She
saying
that.
came
nothing.
at other races of females. Period. Point blank.
she
She ain't
has.
just come against us.
do wish that
Y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to stop
Let's be
playing.
real. Let's get up under that rock and actually do some Googles and do our homework before we just sit here spewing nonsense.
People, she's obviously the issue.
No,
Nobody wants to
Let's just be
Google her
honest
when the
here.
most
If you didn't like
important
the
shit is in
celebrity,
our face every day.
and
Why
she
Google her?
said regardless or not, you still weren't going to like her. So
Why
let's just
Google
be
it?
honest. Y'all don't like to
And it's
talk
in our
about
face
that.
all the time. Like, you don't even
Y'all
have
don't
to
like
have
to
an
talk about that.
Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, or none of that. Everything comes to YouTube, baby. Why Google her? Google her for what? Anything
My thing
important
is,
comes to YouTube,
regardless
baby.
of if she
Google
went
her
off or
for
not,
what?
y'all still would have had the
Nobody
same perception
wants
of
to
her,
Google
no
her
matter
fat
what she
behind. We
said.
can see that on YouTube. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Can I
Yeah,
say something really
exactly. And
quickly?
I'm glad you admit it. Like you said, you're delusional. It doesn't matter what she does, but it matters what everybody else does. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop being a
Nobody's
hypocrite.
being a hypocrite, but most of y'all just don't like her. Y'all ready to y'all ready to
You're
prepare
a
yourself.
hypocrite, and you just told on
It
yourself
doesn't mean that's. I
3
don't even know
times.
what you were
Right.
talking about.
You
How did
just
I
told
told
on
myself?
yourself in less than 5
How?
minutes. Thank you
How?
very much.
How?
Stop being a hypocrite.
Okay, whatever, girl. All I'm saying is, it doesn't
I
matter
think
what she
One
would have
thing
done.
that I do
No,
know,
it's not whatever, girl. Because the last time you just told on yourself, you just said it doesn't matter what she does. That was the last time you told on yourself. Before that,
How did I
you
tell
had
on myself?
mentioned. You know
I
what?
think you misunderstood what I was
Oh my
saying.
gosh, I'm talking. But all right, girl. I see you. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead.
Can I say something really quickly?
Okay.
Hello?
go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to really just address this. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to address something really quickly. As far as the situation with what happened with Garcelle, I just want to know why it's so important for people who support Nicki Minaj to basically jump through hoops when it's super obvious that she is wrong when it comes to certain things. Okay. I'm absolutely not a barb or anything like that, but I don't like hate her or anything either. Okay. But at the end of the day, I just think it's really, really unhealthy and a little bit weird to defend somebody who is wrong. Like, what she said about that woman was completely uncalled for and unnecessarily. And I don't see her supporters, really telling the truth about that. It's not okay. That type of behavior is not okay. No one's saying that she can't defend herself when it comes to certain things, but when things are just when something is just blatantly just off the wall, the way she talked about that woman, I mean, you guys have to call it out. You can't just let that rock.
Exactly.
Like, that is not okay. It's just
I
not
don't
okay.
I don't see
You
a lot
understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And really quickly, as far as that
Exactly. And
situation,
a lot of
as far
people
as that situation that happened with Garcelle in the interview with that woman, I don't really think that the way she conducted herself when it came to dealing with the situation with the woman was appropriate either. You understand what I'm saying? I really, really don't. So,
right.
that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are not condoning what she said against Garcelle. A lot of people are saying
Agreed. It kind of agree. I agree with you, Paula, because it kind of almost seemed like she was trying to be on Nicki Minaj's side, and then Nicki turns around and talks crap about her and her son, talking about she deserves all of that. That is
That
the
was
most
so horrible.
disgusting thing
My
ever.
point
Like,
is that
absolutely
all of
not.
these hoes is toxic. All
Exactly.
these hoes is toxic, and
And
whenever
they
all
still
these
up
girls
here
y'all
whining
don't say
and
nothing.
acting like they don't understand what's real, like reality. Like, really, like, but y'all still
Yeah.
supporting this
I mean,
woman
here's
like it's
the
nothing. Like, she
thing.
didn't do anything
You
wrong.
can't make
Now
the argument.
imagine if it was your
Yeah.
family member.
Right.
Imagine if
Right.
it was your family member she were talking about.
Right. But here's the thing. She can't make the argument about, caring about black women or pulling any type of quote unquote black woman card and in the same breath attack somebody who just really literally did nothing to her. And during that interview with the woman, Garcelle didn't even say anything like bad about Nicki, nothing like that. She just literally just conducted the interview, did her job, and that was it. And then she came
Nicki
out
has an
and
S
said that
spirit.
horrible
That's
stuff and
just
about the
sad.
man left her. And what is wrong with that woman? That is just so ridiculous to me. That is just disgusting and ridiculous. I'm sorry.
What I
Yeah,
think
get
is,
call it for what it is.
Nicki has an S spirit.
I don't condone what she said against Garcelle, but when it comes to the
Me
other
neither.
girls, I really wanted her to go the other way and just put a name on it.
I
Call them
agree.
all out.
Yeah,
Call them all out.
I
Just like
might
she
be
did with
vouching for
Miley,
Nicki,
Taylor, and all the other girls. Call them out. Call them by name. Because what is she scared for?
Right.
She is the queen. Call them by name.
Right.
Meg, you ain't shit. Cardi, this is you.
Thank
Doja, this is
you.
for
But
you.
I don't. She's not going to do
Look,
that because then people can say,
I
well,
want
you
her
know,
to.
she doesn't start beef with people, and she doesn't. So if she doesn't name anybody's names, then people can't really say, okay, that this was about. We already know that certain subs are for certain people, like, unless you just crazy. You know that she's talking about these
Right.
people, but she's not going to mention the people by name. She's not going to do that. For
She
whatever
doesn't know
reason,
how.
look, I
And I
don't. You know what it is? I don't even mind her throwing up the subs. To be honest, sometimes here and there, I think
Everybody
we've all
throws
been
up
guilty of
subs.
similar at some point. We've all been guilty of that. It's just that at,
Right.
at some point we have to just say to, like, I think she should just make the decision at some point to, we don't need all this drama. I think she's a very talented woman. Right? Does it always have to be drama with everybody? That has to, at some point, let's take the high road. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like that. She doesn't have to be like that. She doesn't have to rely on drama. She has a hit record out right now. She got a lot of good things going for her. I
My
just
thing
think
Well,
that
it's
is,
too late.
I
She is like
completely
that.
agree. I
my
completely
thing
agree
is,
with
how
that.
long
Just
has she
like,
been taking the high road?
well, just
but
like
see,
Neek said
is it taking
earlier.
is throwing the subs? Is that really taking the high road? Is it
What high
really?
road? She's
I don't
never
know.
been on
No, I'm
taking no
saying
high
how long.
road.
Well,
No,
here's
and
the
She's
thing.
been
You know
Just
what
keeping
I'm
like
saying?
Neek
quiet.
said earlier about, just
She's
like Neek
always
said
been the devil.
earlier.
Like, when has she ever taken a high road?
Never
Like,
been on a
cut
higher
it out.
road.
and no
You
drama.
ain't. You don't know. You're not
Like,
guilty.
why?
I don't know. And it's
Just,
like,
we are about
screaming.
to turn to,
Go ahead.
wait.
Mhm.
Normally, y'all know I just abruptly ended, but I'm gonna close really soon. I'm gonna let y'all hash it out. Y'all can stay in the background. But let me just close with the rest. So after all of this went down, Nicki Minaj started trending on Twitter, and as she was trending on Twitter, she was trending along with It's Giving Coke. So a lot of people started to go in on Nicki Minaj for what she said about Garcelle. And a lot of people accused her of, being on coke for the way that everything was transpiring. So this is a post. Let me show some of it and then we'll close out. Where is it at? Oh, here we go.
I'm not trying to make an excuse, Nick, or anything, but we also got to be honest here. I know this sounds, somebody gonna get mad at me saying this, but she also got to keep them views up for that show. She does have a show to promote. Like, she has to make it a little messy. Let's just be real.
Because
Oh my God, be for real.
200
Please be
million.
for real.
She has
Yes, I'm for real.
200 million followers on Instagram
Please be
alone.
for real.
If she get on here and just breathe, her fans is gonna watch. So she does not have to. If she bring up one barb a day, the barbers are gonna live for that. She does not have to keep up mess to promote a show because
I mean, if she go on Queen
regardless.
Radio,
does
she
have
want
a
to sub
record
a
out
few
right
people, then
now.
that's her
She does have a
platform to do
remix out
so.
right now. So she's promoting the record. She's bringing more views, more attention to the record. She's about to drop the new record with Blue on Friday. So it's, it's getting the people talking. It's
The
getting them.
record that went number
Okay,
one
it's
with the stream chart.
working.
Okay.
I just feel like Nicki Minaj at this point, and I love Nicki Minaj, so I'm just gonna play devil's advocate on both sides. I feel like Nicki has underdog syndrome, to where she's fought for so long to get where she needs to be, to where even the slightest thing she takes it to 10. Now she has constantly been attacked. Even now, we're not gonna sit here and act like these girls are innocent either. Megan, she's had her shit with her and Cardi and all of them. However, I feel like at the status that she's at, just like Nick said earlier, Rihanna's not addressing people beneath her anymore. Rihanna's not. You don't see Rihanna going back and forth like she did in the beginning of her career. So when Nicki finally lets it boil all up, she puts it. She gets it to the point to where it gets inappropriate, or she comes at the person with not exactly the complete energy that they came at her. So everything doesn't need to be addressed. So if Nicki's the queen, I feel like she should act like the queen. And if she feels like everybody's a peasant, she needs to treat them like peasants and ignore them.
I feel like
So
she's
like again, I don't feel like I feel like they do
until she
attack her.
feels
I'm
everybody
not
is
saying they
gonna
don't attack
respect.
her.
At the end of the
Everybody
day,
is
she's
giving
Yeah,
her the
old.
respect
but
that